Hello and namaste. One of the reasons Rama is adored in every part of this vast country is because he traversed the length of this country and left his footprints not only in the land but in the hearts of the people. Here in Tamilnadu, nearly 2000 kilometers from Ayodhya, you can feel Sri Rama's presence everywhere. Last week, I told you about the ancient temple of Sri Rangam and how it owes its existence to Sri Rama. Today, I'll take you to a unique Rama temple, a place which he visited on his way back to Ayodhya. As we approach the historic moment of Rama's triumphant return to Ayodhya, it made me wonder if this is where he would have originally been 2 weeks before he reached Ayodhya on his way back from Lanka. From Treta Yuga to now, history seems to be repeating itself. The Madhuranthakam Rama temple. Popularly known as Erikatha Ramar, it is situated around 100 kilometers from Chennai. This is another ancient temple with a fascinating history. The temple is situated below the Madhuranthakam agricultural reservoir. The main deities are Rama, Lakshmana and Sita. According to the Sthala Puranam, this temple was originally the ashram of a sage called Vibandaka. It was known as Vibandakashram and situated in a forest called Bakularanyam. The forest used to be full of bakula trees which have sweet smelling flowers and hence the name Bakularanyam, which literally means the Bakula forest. This name later morphed into Madhuranthakam. The Bakula tree is the Sthala Vriksham of this temple and you can still find several of these trees in and around the temple. When Sri Rama was in exile, he visited this ashram and he promised sage Vibandaka that he would visit him again before returning to Ayodhya. After Rama defeated Ravana, he was returning to Ayodhya in Pushpaka Vimanam along with Sita and Lakshmana. The Pushpaka Vimanam would not move when it reached this place. That's when Sita reminded Rama of the promise he had made to sage Vibandaka. Rama is supposed to have held the hands of Sita and helped her down the steps of the Pushpaka Vimanam. This is how Rama and Sita are seen in the temple. They are holding hands. Next to them is Lakshmana. Although I could not photograph the Moolavar, I found this beautiful painting in the outer wall of the shrine. There is another unusual thing about this temple. Hanuman is not present in the main shrine, nor is there a separate shrine for Hanuman within the temple. This must perhaps be the only Rama temple which does not have Hanuman in it. Apparently, he did not accompany Rama here. He had gone ahead to Ayodhya to inform Bharata about the arrival of Rama. He is supposed to have visited the ashram afterwards and bathed in the temple tank. There is a small temple for Hanuman close to this tank just outside the main temple. Here it is facing the Rama temple. This tank is called Ramachandra Pushkarini. This story is from Krita Yuga, a story dating back 2 million years according to our Puranas. In the more recent past, that is in the 12th century, another important event took place in this temple. The great Vaishnavite saint Ramanuja got his spiritual initiation here. He was in fact on his way to Sri Rangam to meet Periyanambi, another great Vaishnavite preceptor. Meanwhile, Alavandar, the head of Vaishnavite sect, had passed away. Ramanuja was selected as his successor and Periyanambi was sent to fetch him. Both of them met at Madhuranthakam. Periyanambi took Ramanuja to a Bakula tree in the courtyard of the temple and initiated him in the 5 sacraments or Pancha Samskarams as they are called. This Bakula tree is still there in the temple and in active worship. This tree is as sacred to the Vaishnavites as the Bodhi tree is to the Buddhists. There is a niche behind the tree where this event is depicted. You can see Periyanambi and Ramanuja facing each other in front of Rama, Sita and Lakshmana. There is a small mandapam in front of the tree where the initiation is supposed to have taken place. There is a painting of this initiation ceremony behind the mandapam. There is a shrine for Ramanuja and Periyanambi in this temple. This is perhaps the only temple where Ramanuja's statue is always dressed in white, indicating that he is a grihastha or a family man when he reached this temple. In almost all other temples, he is dressed in ochre robes, which is the mark of an ascetic. The story of how this Rama came to be known as Erikatha Ramar is comparatively recent. This story is from the 18th century. About 200 years ago, when East India Company was ruling India, a British officer called Leonald Place was the collector of Chengalpet district. The Madhuranthakam reservoir was prone to flooding during the monsoons, causing great loss and damage. Leonald Place tried his best to prevent the flooding by strengthening the bunds and building a weir, which is something like a dam that you build across the lake. He completed the construction work in 1795, but the rains that followed washed away the construction. He once again undertook extensive reconstruction and repair work, but it again got washed away in the subsequent rains. In 1798, he was taking a walk along the reservoir and happened to pass by the Rama temple. There he met a group of Brahmins who were on their way to the temple. He got talking to them and they told him they wanted to build a shrine for goddess Lakshmi within the temple. He is supposed to have laughed and remarked, "Why are you so keen on building a shrine for the goddess when she is not interested in protecting you? In spite of all your prayers, the bund is being breached and we are experiencing floods every year." The Brahmins replied that goddess will certainly protect us if we pray sincerely. Mr. Place proclaimed, "Okay then, I am making a prayer to your Devi now. This year I am again constructing the weir, and if it withstands the rains, I will personally make sure that her shrine is built." The construction of the weir was completed, and there were heavy rains that year too. The reservoir was full and people sent word to the collector that the bund may be breached any time. Mr. Place rushed to Madhuranthakam and camped at a PWD bungalow. I spotted this old dilapidated British era bungalow adjoining the temple. Made me wonder if this is where Mr. Place stayed on this historic day. For 2 days it rained incessantly. He could not step out of his house. On the third night, he went to inspect the weir along with his subordinates. Here he had a vision of 2 princely figures standing with their bows pointing at a breach which they had closed with their arrows. Mr. Place knelt down at the sight and began to pray. His concerned attendants rushed to his side and he said to them, "What, don't you see those glorious figures with their drawn arrows? Look how beautiful they are." Mr. Place returned to his bungalow. The news of his vision spread rapidly and people gathered round his rest house. Mr. Place came out of his room and declared, "The bund is not broken, nor will it ever be. I always believed that God is not the monopoly of the Christian church. Today I am fully convinced. Tomorrow we will start the construction of the Devi shrine." True to his word, he personally supervised the construction of the shrine. This is the shrine of Janakavalli Tayar built by Leonald Place. There is an inscription in Tamil and Telugu in the temple which says, "This act of charity goes to the credit of the company Jagirdar, collector Leonald Place." I saw several inscriptions in the temple, not sure which one is this specific inscription. You can see the story here depicted in the outer wall of the shrine. That is how this Rama came to be known as Erikatha Ramar, meaning Rama who saved the lake. The PWD or the Public Works Department pays for the maintenance of this temple till this day. When you look at the small dilapidated temple, who would think that its history spans so many centuries and millennia? Can you ever imagine that its walls have so many stories to tell? One can never judge a temple by its size. isn't it? That's it from me. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and press the bell icon for reminders. If you like this post, please share it with your friends and like-minded people. Until next time, Namaste.